Well, we also discussed other ways education officials are trying to keep kids in school. The Toronto District School Board, for example, is studying the idea of paying low-income children if they come to school to get good grades.
This is good. This is a good thing, John.
I'm in.
Yeah, I want to go back to school all of a sudden.
Using a carrot instead of a stick, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
David Kobos has a very different approach. He's a judge in Midland, Texas, and he sometimes orders students to wear a GPS anklet.
Yay! 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 This is good. This is...
Oh, this is Texas. All you Texans should be so proud of yourselves.
Let's listen in.
The kind used to track parolees. Judge Kobos is in Midland.
From the BI Corporation, of course. They're expanding into, they're actually going to have in their annual report. Shareholders, this year we expanded into education.
Midland, Texas, good morning.
Good morning.
How did you get this idea of sentencing truant teenagers with ankle monitors?
Well, in Texas, there are laws, compulsory school attendance laws, which require students to attend school.
So if them damn slaves don't want to listen, we got to slap the bracelet on them.
From kindergarten up to their 18th birthday, compulsory school attendance laws. And simply what I'm doing is fulfilling my duties as a judge to enforce those particular laws. And
I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm just doing what the law tells me to do.
the law is structured that gives me some discretion in what is reasonable to ensure.
This is reasonable, John. You know,
Reasonable. These things cost a fortune. It's not reasonable in any monetary
reasonable.
sense.
Who's paying for that? You know this guy has got to be on the take. He's got to be on the take for BI. There's just no way. I mean, how else did he come up with this? This is a very expensive program.
That the orders of the court and state law are being followed. We do have an Attorney General opinion who has confirmed that the use of ankle monitors in failure to attend cases is reasonable.
It's reasonable. By the way, this guy was investigated by the FBI as part of a corruptions probe in 2007. So you mark my words, this guy is on the take. Yeah, mark my word. But it's reasonable. So this has been approved by lawmakers that...
I have to assume that whoever was interviewing him knew this and they would have brought this up.
No, please. It's our national treasure.
And I started using them before our state Attorney General was asked
On my wife.
whether that was reasonable, because as a judge I determined that it was. And how I got the idea is we have a pretrial office here, which if an individual is unable to bond out of jail because they don't have the financial means, the county has a program whereby they will put up the bond at a reduced rate for the defendant to bond out, so therefore we're not overcrowding our jails.
I'm sorry, it's CBC, not NPR. Well, it's another Gitmo Nation station.
It's the Canadian version.
Canadian version.
And they use GPS monitors. And so I just got together with the pretrial people, asked them if I could borrow a couple of those monitors.
Hey, you got some of them bracelets? You got some jewelry for me? I want to borrow a couple.
For a test, and I installed them on a couple of young people
I installed them.
I installed them on a couple of punks.
were having problems at home, running away.
They're running away. So if they run away,
they're being beat up at home, being
not going to
abused.
school.
And, now you must make sure they stay there.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Success.
And so what does the monitor actually do?
Well, this is journalism in Canada. So what does the GPS ankle bracelet monitor actually do?
Well, it tells us their location. For example, if a person is
Write this down.
Take notes.
chronically skipping school, then we place a monitor on them. For example, if they're at home and they're supposed to be at school between 7:30 and 3, then we get an alert.
7:30 and 3? 7:30? Really?
Kinda early.
Where are the parents in all of this? Where's the outrage about this? This is nutball.
Alert that they're outside of the prescribed zone, and therefore we can hone in.
The zone.
The zone.
The zone. The Gitmo zone.
Or send the troops, the constable.
The troops.
The troops.
Send in the troops. All right, I'm saving this for end of show clip.
The constable and I have a staff of 4 people. I've essentially created a probation department within my court. Then we can pinpoint the offender and have them picked up and taken to school.
So some would say that's pretty extreme. What kind of a reaction has there been to this approach?
Well, I haven't had the ACLU contact me yet. Parents are appreciative. The young people, believe it or not, are appreciative. I've had some come in and ask to be fitted with a monitor, and I'll ask them why. And they'll say, because it will help me. So it kind of serves as an electronic conscience as well.
So under what circumstances would you sentence a student to wear such a GPS if they don't ask?
Well, it depends on the circumstances. Number one, we may have a student that continually runs away from home or leaves the house, doesn't come back till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. We may have a student that is involved in drug activity or alcohol activity or is just constantly, chronically skipping school. For example, I use what I call the 3-strike rule. Once they get filed on to come to court, that's strike one. If they violate the court's order, they're brought back to court and cautioned about it and the consequences of violating the court order. The third time could include some sanctions, such as suspension of their driver's license. It could be 48-hour confinement in a juvenile lockup facility for the weekend. It could be placement of a GPS monitor.
Well, so what are the causes of truancy as you see it?
Well, there's a lot of factors. I mean, it could be a lack of motivation on the student's part. It could be uninvolved parents, because we know that a child's success or failure in school is directly related to parental involvement. The more a parent or guardian are involved, we see statistically that the children have better attendance, better behavior, and a better educational experience. On the other hand, parents who aren't involved, we see behavior issues, we see attendance issues, and we see academic issues as well. So drug use, learning disabilities, lack of resources, there's a number of reasons why kids don't think that school's important. There's even complaints that the school system isn't the best in the world. And people say, well, you're ordering kids to go to a crappy school. Well, you know, the law doesn't give me authority over a crappy school or a crappy teacher. I tell parents, look, you've got an elected school board. The school is yours. You pay taxes. It is your school. So I suggest you get involved at the campus level. You get involved with the school board, and you do whatever you think you need to do on that part to enhance the school.
Well, you talk about uninvolved parents. Have you thought about putting ankle bracelets on them, making them spend time with their kids?
Yes, I have. And what I do occasionally is, more often than not, is I will order parents to go to school, to spend time with their child in school, to bring me proof that they're doing that. Yes,
I do. Do you do that? Does that work?
Yeah, sure it does. Sure it does. Sure.
And the ACLU hasn't gone after you on that one, either the Civil Liberties Union?
Nope. I've ordered parents, look, you're going to walk little Johnny to class. You're going to sit in little Johnny's class for an hour, and you're going to get the teacher and the principal to sign off, and you're going to bring me that proof. If you fail to bring me the proof, you're in violation of the court order, and since you're an adult, then we'll have a contempt hearing, and I can confine you in jail for 72 hours plus issue a monetary fine if you violate the order of the court.
So, but we're not talking about criminal charges here. How much leeway do you have as a judge to deal?
No, we are talking about criminal charges.
It is a criminal. It is a criminal offense. Okay.
It is a Class C misdemeanor, punishable by a fine not to exceed $500 plus court cost for a conviction of failure to attend school or parent contributing to truancy.
So how do you measure success? Do you have numbers that show if this is working?
Yes, we measure success based on the daily average attendance of the school. We measure success by each individual student's attendance, looking at their attendance prior to, looking at their attendance while they're under the court order, and their attendance following their experience in court. And I've been doing this for 12 years now, and I started out with a 95% non-compliance rate. 12 years later, we have about a 90 to 95% compliance rate. So we've turned it upside down.
And academically, how do students who come through your court perform once they're back in school?
It seems that the majority of them, once they go to school and they make the effort, then it looks like their grades are increasing at least one grade level.
And what level are we talking? We're talking high school?
From F to D to C's and B's and A's.
And what grades?
We're talking from kindergarten up to the 12th grade.
Oh, you wouldn't do this to a kindergarten kid, would you?
I'd do it to a parent. The parent has to make sure that the child is on time. I order them to walk the child to class. I order them to sit in class if we have a behavior issue. And they have to bring me proof, updated attendance reports. They may have to get a teacher to sign off on the fact that they've walked little Johnny to class every morning like I've ordered them to. And if they don't, and I tell them up front, there are consequences to violating the order of the court.
Okay, well, Judge Kobos, we have to leave it there, but thank you for sharing your thoughts on how to deal with this with us.
Bullshit! Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for your Gitmo Nation National Anthem. In the morning, Gitmo Nation, we are all charged up to be human resources and service.